Today, we're comparing some of the best SUVs on the market today. Let us know down in the comments below which one you would pick for you and your family. Starting with...
Since 1984, Toyota has been producing the 4Runner. This one might just be the most exciting, invigorating 4Runner we've ever seen. Let's check out the 2025 TRD Pro 4Runner that just came out. This 4Runner is uniquely different compared to any previous 4Runner. I've always been a big fan of the 4Runners, but this thing here is like nothing else. Let me tell you a little bit why this is truly unique in comparison to the previous model of Toyota 4Runner. Under the hood here is a 4-cylinder mated to a hybrid powertrain. And with that 4-cylinder hybrid combination, it produces 325 horsepower and a staggering 460 pound-feet of torque, better than any other 4Runner without that hybrid powertrain. This thing is menacing behind me. When you just look at it, everything about it, the angles, the chiseled out hood, the way that hood scoop is designed to Toyota's heritage grille, everything about this vehicle is menacing. The team, when it first arrived to our store here, had not seen one in this particular spec. This one here, as it sits, looks like, as we described, a mini monster truck. Let's talk about the front end here and what makes this truly unique, not only for 2025, but for Toyota as a whole. A few things I want to talk about here is that gorgeous heritage grille with the Toyota right across. I love this honeycomb design in the grille that they've done. It gives it that real truck enthusiast sporty feel that I would want if I'm purchasing this vehicle for myself. I love that Rigid Industries, we were actually just reviewing in one of our other videos a Tacoma TRD Pro, a Tundra TRD Pro, and then actually one of our Nissan Frontiers that has some Nismo accessories, also done by Rigid. They are the OG in the off-road truck segment, and it's nice to see them have the LED headlights and that gorgeous massive light bar across the front. What do you guys think of this vehicle? In pictures and in video, it does not do it justice versus actually being here in front of it. It just has a stellar, awesome bulldog look to it that really not a lot on the road has going for it in comparison. Looking at the front here, we've got this chiseled out hood. We've got these gorgeous headlights with the amber turn signals down below at the very bottom. We have all the sensors built into the front of the vehicle here, with the frontal collision detection, with the parking assist, with the front nose camera for those busy times when you're traveling or at Costco on a Sunday morning. It's important to have that so you know exactly where the nose is in the front of it, so you never run into an issue and damage that beautiful front end of this vehicle. Down below here, we have all the TRD skid plates and gorgeous hooks down below, really finishing off that beautiful front end. Looking down the side here, I love how they've done this black accent where it's actual painted. We see a lot of manufacturers, and specifically some that actually compete directly against this 4Runner. The Jeep Wrangler and Ford Bronco are one of them, where this is a black plastic, but it's not painted. Some may argue that's the better way to go. Some may argue the painted is the nicer finish. I do like the way this looks. My only fear in this is that this is gonna get scuffed up a little bit. This is something, if I were to own this vehicle, I may wanna have a nice 3M protection on. Maybe not so much for the front, but definitely here for the rear. Let me know your thoughts or comments down below. What do you guys think? Do you think they did a good job in having this painted black, or would you opt for something here that was a little bit more off-road friendly, if you will, when it comes to not showing the scuffs or marks like what they've done here? Looking at the wheels here, fabulous job to Toyota in the design with this. They sit perfectly lined up with the edge of the flare of the fender here. It just really fills out those body lines and shoulder lines, everything that the buyer profile for this vehicle would want. We see a lot of people that buy a vehicle like this, and the first thing they do, whether it's this, a Jeep Wrangler or a Ford Bronco, is they put a wider offset tire on it. This, right out of the factory, has everything you need going for it. I'm not sure you would have the need to actually protrude or go a little bit larger into the roadway, if you will, than what's already currently on here. I love the wheels. I love the tires that come specifically right from the factory. We've got Wild Peaks right on this vehicle. Great off-road tire. I'm a huge fan of Wild Peaks. Also the BF Goodrich KO2s. They're great for doing all of your all-terrain stuff that you would do with this type of vehicle, off-roading, but also when you're on the freeway or highway, they're also quieter. And I think that's the big thing that people would want, because a lot of the ones that are out there are quite noisy and make quite a large drone when you're driving down the highway doing 120 kilometers an hour or 70 miles an hour if you're in the United States. As we go down the side here, I love the gorgeous TRD Pro decal on the side. Obviously famous for any TRD Pro, we see it on all of the trucks. Nice blacked out mirror, pulls in that nice accent from the fender, goes all the way through. I am a little bit surprised. I'm not sure if the one that we have here is spec'd out exactly from the factory like this, but I don't see an optional side step to get in and out of the vehicle. Maybe they leave that to the buyer to do that aftermarket, because I know some guys like to customize it to the look that they want, but I'm not sure why we don't see anything here, but that could be a small thing. As we go through, gorgeous black door handles. Again, pull that nice black from the fender flares. I love how everything up top here is all blacked out. I know some vehicles, they added chrome, and chrome was a thing maybe 10 years ago that was cool, but we don't see too much of it here, so that was a good choice in the design, making sure that it's all just, you know, more of a two-tone thing inside. Gorgeous black roof racks up top. If we pop open the back here, it is a locking gas cap. One thing I would say I'm a little bit surprised with here, we have a little finger wrestling here to get that gas cap off, where we see a lot of manufacturers nowadays where it's capless. So I'm not sure as to why we have that here with this particular vehicle. It's a small thing. Where we are here in Canada, when it's the middle of January or February and it's -10 and you're at the gas pumps and you forget to wear those mitts on your hands, this can be a bit of an annoyance here, because you gotta undo this and put it back on, whereas if it was capless, it'd be easy, but again, a small thing. As we go to the back here, I love what they've done here with the mud guards at the back. We have them on the front, we have them on the rear. And I love the fact that they've got 4Runner across the back there too. I think that's a marvelous job and good design. And then here we are to the rear. So the rear of this vehicle is what really excites me. I love these tail lamps. They've got like a smoked out look to them with LED turn indicators inside built in. The black spoiler here ties in perfectly to the rest of the design of this vehicle. On the back here where it says Toyota across the back, this has a beautiful, very industry rigid type look and feel to it. The engineers and designers of this vehicle put a lot of emphasis on all the small creature comfort little things that people would look at. And I have to say, massive thumbs up to them here. 10 out of 10 when it comes to all the little things on the outside that people actually truly care about and pay attention to. Differentiating this particular 4Runner to all the other guys, it says TRD Pro right across the bottom. And I'll tell you, I am a huge TRD Pro fan myself. Having worked for Nissan now for 19 years, I'm all about the Nissan stuff, and I give credit to where it's due, and that's why this vehicle is sitting here today. Down at the very bottom here, I love how they've blacked this out with the rear bumper and nice tow hitch cover to the back. A feature I love here with this vehicle and with 4Runners, which they've had for years now, is this rear window that fully retracts all the way down, or you can stop it at anywhere at any given point. This particular model of the 4Runner is equipped only with 5 passengers, and you get that when you specifically get a TRD Pro. But if you did not look at a TRD Pro and you looked at any of the other 4Runners, you'd have the functionality of having those rear seats in the back to become a 7-passenger. And it's an awesome thing when you have occupants in the rear, when you have this window in the summertime to be able to get that fresh breeze coming in and out of the vehicle. I think, again, massive thumbs up. And I believe still to this day that Toyota has that technology patent that nobody else can do. And we see it on this truck in specific, the 4Runners. We see it in the Tundras and a few other vehicles I believe they may have. Leave your comments down below. I think there's a few other vehicles Toyota have that drop the window down. I'm not entirely completely sure of that, but I think it's a great thing. And again, it's one of the reasons why someone that's buying a vehicle like this, that's very adventurous in their daily active lifestyles, would want something like this, right? So again, massive thumbs up to Toyota for doing what they've done here with this vehicle. And outside, I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. Let's hop inside the vehicle right now and see what they've done to redo the inside of this vehicle. So we're now sitting inside this TRD Pro 4Runner, and honestly, where do I start? The feelings and emotions you get when you step into a vehicle are super important to determine whether or not you like the vehicle you're getting in, whether you're a passenger or for the first time. The emotions I have stepping in this, having been in multiple vehicles and vehicles that directly compete against this, honestly, I'm blown away. They've done a fantastic job on the layout and how there's just a lot of different things that you can keep your eyes on or pay attention to or try out. So first and foremost, guys, take a look at this dash here. Look at the layout. What do you guys think of this? There is a lot going on, but it's very off-road inspired. I love this beautiful carbon fiber trim. I love how they have Toyota across the very top here. I think that's marvelous with what they've done. They have JBL audio. Toyota's been with JBL for a number of years. That's throughout the whole vehicle. But look at this. This pops off. So if you're going to the beach, you can take the speaker off, connect it to your Bluetooth or to your phone, and you've got JBL audio with you for the day. Genius idea. I'm not sure why nobody thought of that before. Love how that works. Going through it here, very similar to what we see in a lot of their newer Tacoma or Tundra stuff, but all like the little details, like the little Phillips screwdriver details on our little knobs, the little very stainless steel, metallic, very industrial feeling of all the HVAC controls at the very bottom here. I love what they've done here in the middle with the wireless charger and how it sits on a incline, so it makes sure that the phone stays in place. Down below here, we've got all our different drive modes, our rock crawl mode, mountain mode. If you're gonna tow something behind, there's a tow mode. How we have our locking diff for the rear. We have a gorgeous round view camera system that's built into the vehicle. And then just little things, getting into the vehicle. I'm one for if I'm driving on a long journey, I typically like to fidget sometimes. So I'll keep my hand on something, I'll move it around. There's plenty of places to get comfortable over a long duration, or if you're doing any of that off-roading, you've got all the different areas to grab onto to make sure you're safe and secure while you're going to your next destination. A gorgeous setup on the instrument panel. And as we go through the different modes here, there's a sport, a normal, and eco mode, just giving you different driving dynamics respectfully to the person that's looking for that. Down at the very bottom here, it gives us all of our information as far as the engine, coolant, drive type modes, how the hybrid battery is performing, what our fuel consumption is. Tons of information to keep everybody fully in tune with what's happening and how the vehicle is working. If we go back to the screen, Toyota's had this for a number of years, but a gorgeous, lovely, crisp screen in front of us. Inspired, I believe, we see a lot of the new Teslas that have this, whether it be in the Model Ys, the Cybertrucks, the Model 3s, they all have the same design to them. It's very in your face, lots to do, whether you're a driver, passenger, or you have rear passengers with you for the day. Plenty to see, touch, and keep yourself busy and entertained with. Inside here, I love the black headliner they've gone to. I know on some of the 4Runners previously, this may or may not have been gray, and I know it would keep everything a little bit cooler, but the black just feels a little sportier and suits the buyer profile for what this vehicle would be a little bit more. We've got an auto dimming rear view mirror here. We've got our rear window glass control right through here. We've got our single panel moonroof here and a nice LED setup for lights here when it gets a little bit dark. We've got some good sized cup holders here. They look that they'd work out quite well. I haven't tested them out myself just yet, but I think they've done a good job making sure that for the guy that's driving this type of vehicle, whether it be a Yeti or one of those Stanley mugs, that this would suit and make sure that that person has their drink here without getting spilled with ease. One thing I am a little bit shocked with, minor thing, but the center armrest, it is a little bit lower than what I would expect, and it doesn't go down very deep. There's not a lot of space to put things in here down below. It's only about 7 or 8 inches deep, so I'm not sure why the engineers couldn't get some extra space out of that or to change up the flooring, but that could be because of the hybrid batteries or the powertrain running through the center here. let's hop into the back and see what the rear seats are all about. Okay guys, so we're sitting in the back of the TRD Pro 4Runner in the first test. Here we go, ready? Okay, all the way down, approved. I'm not sure about you guys, my biggest pet peeve with a vehicle is when you put the window down, you can't put your elbow or rest it properly because it stops 3/4 of the way down. I'm sure now that I point that out to you guys, it is quite a annoyance, but in this case, it goes all the way down. So good job to the engineers and the team at Toyota for making sure that happened. I love these assist grips getting into the vehicle, in or out, just helps with ease. Down at the bottom here, I love the bottle holders, nice and deep, nice and big, making sure if you had something in there, it's not gonna be bouncing around and mess up this beautiful interior. Inside, I like this little speaker they have, JBL, as we know JBL audio is through this, as I showed you guys in the front of the vehicle. Nice little JBL speaker here in the back, nice little tweeter, making sure that you've got some extra sound coming through. Just adds to that ambiance in the back of this vehicle. Everything is nice. I love the black headliner. I seem fine where I'm sitting right now. The seat does recline. If I had it a little bit more forward facing, my head would probably graze the front of this, more so getting in or out of the vehicle. Not a big deal because as I'm sitting here quite comfortably now, I don't have any issues, but if I was sitting a little bit more upright, I could see how that would be a slight annoyance, but nothing that nobody could obviously live with that. We have our USB-C plugins. We have another 120 volt plug-in for the rear. If you're at the beach and blowing up those tubes or accessories, you've got the availability and functionality to do it. In the back here, we've got our little pockets for our long journeys, road trips, iPads, all the good stuff that we're all gonna pack into the back of this vehicle. And I think they've done a fantastic job. Let's hop outside now for my final thoughts on this new 2025 4Runner TRD Pro. Okay guys, and that's a wrap for our 2025 4Runner TRD Pro. Let us know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this particular model? Would you buy a regular 4Runner model, or would you opt for the TRD Pro, like something like this behind? There is a model above this as well called the Trail Hunter, but they do come with a much higher premium. This particular model spec'd out as it sits in Canada, prices out at just shy of $83,000 new. That is a hefty price range compared to the previous one. But with that being said, the technology, features, and creature comforts that come in this new model are far ahead of where it was previously. We'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Thanks again for checking out our video. Again, I'm Brendan Maslin, the General Sales Manager here at Pkwy Nissan. If you can hit the like button down below, we'd really appreciate that. And if you can click that bell button to be notified as we drop a new video every week. Thanks again, come and get it. The Nissan Patrol has been Nissan's longest lasting flagship iconic model within the brand. It's been around for 70 years and it was the first vehicle to cross the Simpson Desert in Australia successfully, and it's been the king and owner of the Middle East when it comes to the Baja desert racing vehicles. Today, we're going to be reviewing with you the 2025 Armada, and ever since 2017, the Armada, which is in Canada and the United States, now shares the underpinnings of that Nissan Patrol. Let's take a look at the 2025 Armada, guys. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, click the link at the top of the description for your YouTube-only incentive. Looking here at the front of this 2025 Armada, I first want to pay some homage to the previous predecessor Armada, which came out in 2004. From 2004 till 2024, the Nissan Armada had a very famous V8 engine, 5.6 that was. They've now gone to a twin-turbo V6 engine that produces a staggering 430 horsepower and a staggering 530 pound-feet of torque. I want to talk about the front of this vehicle and show how Nissan, with their design philosophy and language, has gone to a much more sophisticated, modern, and luxurious design and profile. Let's look at the front of this vehicle first and foremost. So at the front here, I love what Nissan is doing. They've gone to a much more large emblem, and specifically here, as we're looking at this Armada in the Pro 4X trim that it sits here today, It's a much more rugged and adventurous model of the Armada, and we see this within a lot of Nissan's vehicles over the past few years. We get this very signature Nissan logo, and it's in a lava red. Any of the other makes that are not a Pro 4X are all white or like a silver accent inside. So I really like what they've done here with that design. They also have the same Q and design from the previous Armadas, or even the current Pathfinders now, where it has this 3-scoop design, giving a very bold profile to anybody that's going to be either in front or facing this vehicle head on. They have a very aggressive design philosophy with this grille. It's all blacked out, so it gives a nice two-tone look between the black and obviously the white contrast on this one here specifically. We've got a nice front nose camera on the front of the Nissan Pathfinder grille here. So being in a big vehicle this big, you're gonna need that extra assistance when you're pulling up behind a vehicle in front on a busy Costco parking lot on a Sunday morning, or along the outside here. As we look underneath the vehicle, so we have sensors for helping with parking. It also has pedestrian detection, so if it picked up that we're in a busy urban area to walk out in front of you, or a shopping cart, the vehicle would apply those brakes immediately to make sure that there's a safe distance between the person outside walking, the object in front of you, and that nothing's gonna happen to the beautiful front end of this new truck. On the undercarriage of this vehicle, there's a skid plate that comes with Pro 4X. It also keeps that precious undercarriage protected. So if someone's looking to get a little bit adventurous and get off-road with this, it's not gonna damage the underpinnings and ruin that nice vehicle. Let's have a look at the side of the vehicle here. Coming along the side, we see with a lot of our Nissans today, black cladding. You'll see this in a lot of the videos I talk about with our Nissans. They've done this here, so belt buckles that I'm wearing now, shopping carts, doors from other cars at the mall or busy shopping centers, if they were to brush up against this, it's much easier to replace or fix this as it would be to the actual precious paint on the car. Let me know in the comments below, guys. I'm curious, do you like what Nissan's doing? I think the black cladding gives good protection to those and just gives you the peace of mind that if something did happen, it's not damaging that nice paint on your car. So on Pro 4X, it comes with a black finished 20-inch wheel wrapped in an all-terrain tire. If you're gonna get adventurous and go off-roading, this tire is gonna do it. But not to mention, if you're also stuck in a foot of snow in downtown Toronto on the weekend, this vehicle and the tire is also going to get you out of it. Moving down the side here, same thing. It brings in a lot of that same feeling the front grille gives you. Same exact type pattern. Very rugged, very kind of in-your-face Pro 4X style that they've done with this vehicle. The black fender, we've seen this in a lot of the Armadas. Previously, they were chrome, and I was not a fan of the chrome at all whatsoever. So I really think Nissan's done a great thing here, getting rid of all that chrome and going more to like a two-tone look. It simplifies it and it keeps it elegant looking. We'll see here, we've got step rails. I'm 6'1", getting in and out of the vehicle. If I didn't have the step rail there, would still be an issue. So that definitely eases for myself to get in. And I've got 3 children myself, so I need something like that. If they were to sit in the back of the car, it helps them get in and out, so I'm not lifting everybody up, getting in and out of the car. Part of Nissan's Safety Shield 360 is it gives you a front nose cam, side cameras on driver and passenger mirror, and then one on the tailgate. Looking at the mirror though, we've got our turn indicators on the side, so if you're driving down the freeway or highway, anybody besides is gonna see where we're going. We've got blind spot activation in the mirror as well, showing who's alongside of us. And again, nicely finished in that black, coming across the top and just ties in beautifully with the roofline here of this Armada. Nice thing as well here is they've got rid of that chrome type look and they've gone to like a black metal type finish along the tops of the doors here, front and rear door, all the way across the line right to the very back. Just a much more modern and elegant feel and look as this Armada has grown, and they've put a lot of emphasis on that. As we move along through the back, so tinted windows in the rear, all the way to the back passengers, giving them some extra protection from the sun and also to keep things cool. And then we have here in the back, making sure that everybody knows that it is the Nissan Armada with that lava red stitching and or badging and profiling, that this is the Pro 4X edition that we're indeed driving in. Moving along the back here, I love what they've done here with the new Armada. This might be a small thing to some, but big to others. That is, they've gone to a capless fuel system here with the Nissan Armada. It could be any given time, but no one likes going to the gas station, and certainly nobody likes to get their hands dirty full of gas or anything on it. Just very simply push the button, opens right up, fill it up with the gas, close her up, no issues, never having to worry about clicking, and especially when it's -10 or -15 outside in the middle of December, middle of January. We've all been there. Moving into the rear of the vehicle, Nissan has spent a good amount of time on the design and making sure that it was going to please everybody, because it's up against some big players. The Toyota Sequoia, the GMC Yukon, the Chevrolet Tahoe, and a few others to mention, one of them being the Jeep Wagoneer. This vehicle, they've spent a good amount of time on their design language, making sure that it was going to stand out and attract people to spend in that $100,000 price point range, of which this vehicle commands. Let me just show you here. So we've got LED tail lamps, which come all the way across to the rear. Again, right back to that lava red Nissan logo. I love the fact they've done that. And then down below, I like how they've done this. Some vehicles, they have it in like a chrome or a silver accent where it shows what that vehicle is that's in front of you. It's still there. It's a bold, in-your-face look of Nissan Armada, but it's also hidden because it's in that black, gloss black finish. On the back of the tailgate here, we also have our rear view camera, which will also assist with backing up. It shows predictive lines on where the vehicle is going to go. And it also gauges if you were to back up to something that you were going to pull, i.e. like your trailer or boat, it'll also give you predictive lines to help with ease and making sure you get hooked up okay. Looking in the back here, we've got a power liftgate. It does come with memory adjustment for the tailgate. So I'm 6'1" myself. This is the standard opening. You can actually raise it up a little bit higher, or we can go a little bit lower on that liftgate, and then through our memory setting, hold that button for a few seconds, and it'll relearn what that new height is that you want it to be set at. So for those that are going to be possibly in underground parking, or for those that might be a little bit shorter or taller, you have that flexibility with the new Armada to be able to do so. Looking in the back of the vehicle here, the floor height's important. Let's face it, right? You're going to be carrying a lot of things: golf clubs, golf bags, hockey bags, your gear, your gym equipment, or strollers potentially, right? So we've got a 60-40 split rear bench in the rear, but a floor height that's nice, that if you had to grab something with ease, it's not going to be a challenge or a struggle to pull that object out and get it out to where you need. So I think, again, good job here with Nissan on that. In the rear, we've got some tie-down cleats in the back. This is important for those that might be doing some camping or heading up to the cottage. You'll be able to strap everything down and make sure everything stays in one place. It's not rolling around in the back of the car. We've also got here in the back power rear seats. So with the touch of a button, we can also do it manually from inside. But in this case here, saving me a trip from having to go around into that second row, I can drop the floor from either side. And the beautiful thing with the new Armada is it's virtually a flat floor. And a nice thing, even for that second row, same thing. All from the rear of the vehicle, easy to do, with ease, touch of a button. I can get all my precious cargo in there, loaded up, safe and sound. A couple other things in the back of the Armada here that I absolutely love. So we've got a 12-volt plug-in for the back. So if you want to blow up some rafts or ski toys, if you're going to the beach one day, you'll be able to do it right from the back of the car. You won't have to go right back to the driver or passenger side. And one of the neat things that I think is very exclusive to this vehicle, because we've never had it before on the Nissan Armada, is air suspension. So we can actually increase the ground clearance on the Nissan Armada to 9.6 inches at its lowest point. Okay, everybody, so that's the inside and the back of the Armada. Let's hop into the driver's seat right now, because I want to share you from a driver's perspective everything that's at your demand and at your fingertips. Okay, everybody, so getting in the vehicle, first impressions are a key to someone that's gonna first drive it for their first time or someone that's gonna live with it for multiple years. Nissan has, in the Armada, like many of our models, zero gravity seating inspired through NASA research. Reduces fatigue on any duration of travel you might be taking this vehicle on. First and foremost, from the driver's side here, we've got memory seating. And I love the little touches that Nissan has. We have like a baseball glove stitching on the doors. It's met with some hard plastics, some black metallic finishes, and some soft touches if I were to rest my elbow for a longer drive. Moving along here, Nissan has brought in a Clips audio system. For years, Nissan has been with Bose. Bose is a spectacular audio system, and we have in many of our models. This one specifically goes to Klipsch. Now, Klipsch is known for their audio and soundstage equipment,
and there's one model, McLaren supercar, that they use their audio in. I can't think of any other brands that have clips as their audio in any mass-produced vehicle like the Nissan Armada. We've got a 12.4-inch screen for the driver and passenger, and what I love what they've done is they've brought that over all the way from the driver's side across to the passenger, giving us a plethora of different options, from audio to temperature controls to safety features, and anything that the computer from the vehicle is telling us that we need to know while we're driving. Looking at the steering wheel here, it's a beautiful finish. It's a nice soft leather they've done. We've got our ProPilot Assist on the left-hand side here, all of our volume controls. On the right-hand side, we've got all of the audio and Bluetooth prompts, and or through our Android Auto or Apple CarPlay prompts we can do directly, again, right from the steering wheel of the car. As we move over into the center part, I love what they've done. They've gotten away from the massive, big, clunky shifters, and they've gone to a very just simplistic approach where it's just a simple P for park, reverse, neutral, and drive. For those of you that are going to be sitting at red lights and keep your foot on the brake for multiple minutes at a time, they do have the auto hold feature. Or if you're going through a drive-through and don't want to have your foot pressed down on that brake pedal for those 5-10 minutes as you're going through, this will assist in alleviating some of that pressure. Nice thing they've done, they've simplified it. Manufacturers years ago had just too many buttons to prompt and do different things. They've kept it simple, right? 4 buttons at the top here for getting into your camera, your volume controls, down below your heater cooled seats, and then your temperature control for the driver's, passenger, and then also for the rear. Down below here, we've got snow mode, cactus mode for doing some off-roading. We've got a bit of like a drag mode if you're feeling a little sporty that day. And then there's a trailer mode, of course, if you're hauling some gear behind you. As we go through, I love what Nissan's done. It does show and pay some tribute to the brand. As we know, the Armada in Canada and the United States has been around since 2004. But again, previously in 1951, the inception of the Nissan Patrol, when it came out, there's a little nice indicator in here paying tribute to that vehicle when it first came out, as there's a lot of history into this vehicle. I love what they've done. There's a decline wireless charger, and again, you've seen this probably on some of my other videos I've talked about. A lot of brands now have gone to a different style wireless charger. It just helps with keeping your phone in place, so it's not sliding around when you're taking sharp corners or something comes up unexpected and the phone is flying around on you. It stays in one place. We've got this lovely brushed aluminum Armada badging on here, a massive center console. We can fit quite a few things in there, iPads, possibly a small purse, wallets, and keys. And then down below, there's a storage unit if it won't fit in the storage compartment up top. Down below with a soft, durable material pad that'll keep everything also in place, so it's, again, not sliding around on you. As we look at the top here, great feature. We have our rear view mirror. Nissan has had this now on the Armada for a few years where it's also digital. And the nice thing with that is if there were people sitting in the rear of the vehicle right now and I had occupants sitting in the back, it might be hard to see what's directly behind me and outside. The camera negates that, takes all that away, and it shows me in a wide degree of field of view what's exactly behind me as I'm driving, parking, or navigating life's hefty traffic. Inside here, we have the panoramic moonroof that Nissan is notorious for, and we've had for many years, even on our Nissan Rogue. It goes all the way right back to that second row. Just gives a whole ambiance and a whole array of light coming through, and just creates a whole different atmosphere for the driver, passengers, and rear people sitting in the back of this vehicle. Let's hop into the back. Let's check out what the rear seats are like and give you my thoughts. So sitting in the back of this Armada, I have to say I'm quite comfortable. There's tons of ample leg room, tons of headroom, sitting on the bench of this 40-40-20 split bench seat. It has the functionality to drop down armrests. We've got cup holders in it. We've got this beautiful stitching that not only in the front had, but throughout into the back with this baseball glove lava red stitching that we have on the outside of the car, right through into the Armada. And then looking through, we've got our USB-C plugins down below, accessory plugins. We have heated seats sitting for the rear passengers. We have our temperature control, flexibility from the very back, which is nice to give them that flexibility. And then our beautiful clipped audio system right into the bottom doorways. I love the fact that the vehicle is a little bit higher up and it does have the steps to ease getting in and out, but it also has these lovely door handles on here to help in that transitioning. If there is one thing I didn't like about the vehicle is that the glass doesn't go all the way down. We know why that is. It just doesn't fit within the actual door itself. But if I was sitting here in the back, it would be a little bit more pleasurable if I could sit here and not have this glass in the way. So I'm not sure if that was an overthought or an oversight at that point from the engineering or design team, but that's one thing I would have liked to seen on this vehicle. In the back here, we've got our vents for AC, for heat. We've got all of our mood lighting in the back. And again, right back to this panoramic moonroof, it gives so much light that allows to come through from the top. It just creates that natural ambiance that we all want. Let's hop into the third row right now to show you where Nissan has spent a lot of their engineering and design to make sure that the rear occupants in the very back of this Armada also feel safe and secure for long distance travel. So sitting in the rear of this Armada, I must say it's actually quite impressive. So it's a 40-40-20 split in the middle. In this particular model of Armada, Platinum trims and SL have the option for captain's chairs, which make it easier getting into the rear. But even sitting back here, I was actually anticipating to feel a lot more crunch than when I'm sitting here right now. As I sit here, I'm very comfortable, and I love the fact that they've added the functionality for the passenger in the very rear to recline and bring up the seat with the push of a button. Great feature, and good job Nissan on making sure that the people in the back were thought of without having to go to the driver to get the seat adjusted. In the back here as well, we have plugins for USB-C to make sure if you have an Apple or an Android, you can get that phone or tablet charged without having to fish wires from the very front of the car. I must say, home run on this. They nailed it, because a lot of vehicles, when we get into the rear, it's hard to get an adult to sit back there for a long duration. I could definitely sit back here and go on a long travel journey and feel quite comfortable without feeling like I needed to get out to stretch my legs. Another great thing they've done here is it's a complaint for the passengers sitting in either the second or third row. When you go to look out, you can't see anything because you're staring at the back of the person in front of you, their head. In this case here, it's not an issue. The third row of this vehicle sits higher up than the second or first row with Nissan's stadium seating. So sitting here right now, if there were a person sitting in front of me, I have clear lines looking right out to the front of the vehicle. It gives me that experience that I'm actually part of this travel journey, not looking at the back of a headrest till we get to our next destination. Good job on that one as well. Let's hop outside right now so you guys can hear my final thoughts on what I think of the new 25 Armada. So everybody, let me know what your final thoughts are and what you think of this new 2025 Armada. The previous model was a little bit long in the tooth, and it was time for a change. I feel like Nissan's really come to the table and listened to what's worked with GMC Yukon, Toyota Sequoia, and Chevrolet Tahoe. It does come with a much heftier price tag than the previous model, but it's a completely different animal. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Could you see yourself driving something like this? Or would you opt out to look at the Toyota Sequoia or one of the other vehicles that this vehicle competes against? Thanks again, guys, for checking us out. Again, my name is Brendan Maslin. I'm the General Sales Manager at Pkwy Nissan here in Hamilton, Ontario. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Come and get it.
In 2003, Nissan North America debuted the Nissan Murano. Today, we're going to be reviewing with you the brand new, latest generation 2025 Murano and share with you all the changes that Nissan has made to this new generation. Let's check it out. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, click the link in the video description to get a conversation started with any one of our team members. Here at Pkwy Nissan of Stony Creek, we deal with all makes and models. Let's get it going. So let's take a look at that beautiful front end of this new 2025 Murano. And first I want to point out, we see a lot of manufacturers today, they've done away with the larger sized 5-passenger SUVs like this. For years, the biggest competitors to the Nissan Murano were the Toyota Venza and the Ford Edge. Both of those vehicles have been discontinued, and they were about a year to a year and a half ago. They are no longer on the market. Now, Honda recently, as a competitor, you could say, to this 5-passenger Nissan, has brought out the new Passport, and there is the new Crown Signia from Toyota, but that's also a hybrid, where this is a 4-cylinder turbo 2-liter engine mated to a 9-speed conventional gearbox. Now, let us know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this front end? What I definitely take from this when I look at it is it's very simple with its lines. It has a very sophisticated, elegant look to it, and they've definitely gone to a design language where sometimes less is more. Now, what I mean by that is if you look at the hood, we see some vehicles where it has lots of lines or bubbles or creases in it. With the new Murano, it's just 2 nice lines across the outside, a very squared off oval front end with bumper, with some nice lines and a nice Murano signature in the front here. We've got our beautiful Nissan logo and the famous B-Motion grille. Down at the very bottom here, you'll have your emergency braking system, your sonar detection for when you're parking the vehicle, or if it were to sense a collision could happen. And of course, that large forward-facing front camera for the ease of parking on your Sunday shopping sprees. The first thing I'll point out, and you'll see in a lot of our most recent videos with Nissans, is they would have a black fender cover, black cladding on the outside to protect the vehicle from any kind of damage from shopping carts or road rash or whatever you have it. But I'm noticing on this new Murano, they've gotten away from it. And I think the big thing, like I said, about the front end of the vehicle is it's all about cleanliness, keeping the line simple, and almost less is more. You could take that approach here definitely with this new Murano. So looking at the side here, again, clean up front. This particular model of Murano is the SL package. The SL package comes with a 20-inch wheel, and then there is a platinum edition above this where it gives you a little bit different finish on this wheel on the outside. I'm curious to see your thoughts here on these wheels. What do you think of this design? Personally, myself, I like a little bit more chrome and finish on those wheels, but they've gone to a more gunmetallic muted look. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that myself, but I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. Let us know. Obviously, Nissan knows a lot more than what we do here. This is something that I would have liked to see. I do like what they've done. If you look along the roof line here, we've got this beautiful chrome all the way through the back. We see on a lot of vehicles, some of our vehicles they've gotten away from, but it definitely breaks up the roof line from the body line a little bit, and it just gives it that nice, elegant view from the side. I like what they've done here on the side. You've got that beautiful black mirror just breaking up from the white. You've got your turn indicators inside of it, and of course it does come with your blind spot warning inside the mirror to make sure you know anybody that's beside you. Along the side here, they've simplified the intelligent key button a little bit, and I like what they've done. Simple one-touch button for locking it, unlocking it, or getting out of the vehicle. It also comes with key recognition, so when you walk up to the vehicle, you can program the vehicle where it'll unlock the door or lock the vehicle the moment you were to walk away. So not necessary to always push that button. If you like that convenience feature, it is customizable within the infotainment system of the Nissan Murano. I do like what they did here with this black cladding at the very bottom, just protecting it from any kind of debris or stones, if you will, that if they were to come up along the side, you're not going to damage that nice finish on that paint. To the back here, we've got the locking rear gas cap, and I like how Nissan has gone to a capless system. It just makes life so much easier at any given time of the day or any part through the year, especially when it's -10 and freezing outside, or if there's snow or ice, you're not fidgeting taking off a gas cap, and it keeps your hands clean when you're at the fuel pumps. Good feature with that. Moving along here to the rear of the vehicle, this is probably my most favorite part. And again, let us know what you guys think. But looking at this new Murano, I love what they've done with these tail lights. It has a very modern look to it. We see this with some of the higher end Lincolns. It almost reminds me of what you'd see on some of the Tesla vehicles, and probably many, many more where they've got some inspiration from. But I love how it has like a cross hatch, singular LED coming across the back, and how it comes across the whole tailgate. It really just finishes off the vehicle nice and gives it a beautiful look from the rear. I love how from the top down, the rear quarter panel has a nice bulge to it. It gives some nice hips to the vehicle. and just gives it a little bit more stance and appeal to anybody behind you looking at the rear end of this vehicle. In previous vehicles, I've always been one to talk about the person behind you knowing what the vehicle is in front. And I love how Nissan on our Rogue, our Pathfinder, and the Murano now have that badging across the back. We see this with Ford Raptor, we see this with Dodge Ram, just really highlighting what this vehicle is. So again, great job with that. You've got your beautiful Nissan badge. Again, this is the SL package. And at the very bottom here, love how they've done this black cladding plastic, again, for protection. You've got your rear sonar system built into that. And then down below, this beautiful black finish, almost like a black and gray finish on the paint, giving a bit of that two-tone again, and elegant feel. We've got our button here for the back. Interesting spot where Nissan's put to open up the tailgate. Usually it's a little bit down below. And the first thing you'll notice is the ease in transition for if you were to load anything. So imagine if I had a shopping cart here, it'll be easy to bring up cases of water, my groceries, my belongings. I'm a golfer myself, so if I'm out at the golf course or playing hockey, playing soccer, it's easy to get my bags in and out. I'm not having to drop or lift anything up too high. So I think Nissan's done a fabulous job with that. Has some great features in the rear here. If I wanted to drop the seats down on either side, there's a lever for both sides. It's a 60-40 split for the rear, and it offers an ample amount of cargo space for anybody that's going to be putting stuff in the rear here. The one thing I want to point out is a lot of 7-passenger vehicles, you would think that there's a lot of space offered in the rear because it's a 7-passenger. That's not always the case because the vehicles are not typically that much bigger. And I find that a 7-passenger vehicle, if the rear seats are up, there's little to no space in the rear. So again, the nice thing with a 5-passenger vehicle here in this particular Murano is it offers a ton of cargo space in the rear here, as you can see, with the functionality that the rear seats do fold nearly flat. Let's talk a little bit about the power liftgate here in the rear. So you'll notice it's not very high up right now. And for some people that may live with this day to day, you may live in a condo or an apartment somewhere, and you may just not have the ceiling height to be able to always have this at full capacity or full range. With the Nissan Murano for 2025, it does have a memory feature with it where you can adjust manually at first its height, hold that liftgate button and reprogram that vehicle to learn where you'd like the vehicle or liftgate to stop with its opening. All right, so ample headroom underneath. I'm 6'1" myself, and ease getting in and out, moving back and forth. Come with me now, let's hop inside of the vehicle and see what Nissan has done as far as technology and infotainment systems inside the new 25 Murano. So we're now sitting inside the 2025 Murano. The first thing I want to point out is how comfortable the interior is. Nissan now for years has had NASA-inspired zero-gravity seats. It's very prominent and obvious in this particular vehicle. Having driven many vehicles over the lifetime of my career in the automotive industry, the seats in this arguably might be the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in. That's something that I would love to hear your thoughts. If you've had a look at a 2025 Murano, or if you currently own one, let us know in the comments below. Would you not agree with me that the seats in this particular Murano are light years ahead of anything previously in any other Murano or Nissan for that matter? Sitting inside the vehicle, it's very obvious that Nissan's taken some inspiration from some other manufacturers, and the first that comes to mind is Tesla. If anybody's ever been in a Tesla vehicle, we all know it's less is more inside of their vehicles as far as design and simplicity. Inside the Murano here, looking on the left-hand side here, we have our memory seats that we can set for different drivers. We have our simple buttons at the very bottom here for our windows and mirror settings. And then we have our buttons along the side here for Pro Pilot, our tailgate, and anything to do with the emergency brake. As we move into the middle here, if you take a look with me, it's very clean and everything flows through this large screen at the very top here. A few buttons down below with volume control, and this faux wood looking dash is actually sensitive to touch, which controls our fan, our temperature inside the vehicle, and of course our push button ignition. If we go through, it's a 12.3-inch screen, and it's very similar to Nissan Ariya, our EV electric vehicle. Obviously some same design philosophy and sophistication that Nissan has put into this. But as we go through, it's a gorgeous look. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Google Assistant built in all into this vehicle. And it's a gorgeous screen, does not lag at all whatsoever, and it's super easy to touch. Going through here, this particular model is set up with our Bose audio system, and it's designed specifically for the interior to create an ambiance inside this vehicle like no other and give that sophisticated feel sitting inside this Murano. As we go through here and open up this armrest, it is quite large, it's very deep. I'd say approximately about 16 inches deep, lots of space, lots of plugins, and I love that Nissan has put in a wireless charger at the very bottom here with a decline, making sure that going around any corners, this vehicle is not going to lose my phone. It's not going to slide off to one side or the other. It keeps everything contained and making sure that when I get to my final destination, the phone is charged. Going through it here, this is a little bit different. I'm not used to seeing, and I like what they've done. It's very easy to put the vehicle in park, put it in reverse. It's just a simple touch of a button, neutral, or into drive or manual mode. It does come with this option where we can go between different D mode selectors here, where we can have the vehicle drive in a more sport dynamic feel, more into a standard obviously feel, in eco mode where it's going to put a little bit of resistance on that gas pedal so we're not mashing it to get up to speed with everybody else in the flow of traffic. Down at the very bottom here, there is an auto hold. I do love this feature. This morning I went to get my coffee. I do love this feature with the auto hold. I was in the drive-through getting my coffee and taking my foot off the brake. While in drive, the vehicle didn't move. It didn't roll or continue to have any momentum. No different than if I was sitting at a red light. It would keep the vehicle stationary until I hit that gas pedal and continue to move forward. Great feature, very simple design. I love that they've had these massive cup holders in here as well. My partner and I, we quite often have Yeti mugs or Stanley mugs, and I know that in this particular vehicle they do fit with ease, and we're not having to put them stashed away into the doors like some vehicles, unfortunately. Down below here we do have a good sized glove box, and as we go through here again, you can see the very simple, modern and elegant buttons and dials here to control that airflow coming through the front to make sure that the passengers up front here or sitting in the rear get some nice airflow coming through. As we look up here, we've got our tilt and power panoramic moonroof. We've got our auto dimming rear view mirror and a shade that goes all the way above the second row in the rear of the vehicle. So that's it, everybody, for the 2025 Murano. Let us know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this particular vehicle? Do you think Nissan's hit a home run here, or do you think it's stayed the exact same? There's a lot of change in this automotive landscape with 5 passengers that are growing, 7 passengers. And is this something that you could own if you were a family man or you had some young children, or would you opt for that bigger vehicle? Like always, guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. If you can hit that like button down below and that subscribe bell notification to get notified when that next video comes out, we'd really appreciate your support. We do drop a new video weekly, and if you hit that subscribe button down below, you'll see that next one come out as we review all different vehicles and all makes and models. Thanks again, guys. Again, my name is Brendan Maslin, the General Sales Manager at Pkwy Nissan of Stony Creek. Thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Come and get it. Hey everybody, my name is Brendan Maslin. I'm the General Sales Manager here at Pkwy Nissan of Stony Creek, just outside of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Today, I'm going to be reviewing with you this gorgeous 2023 Nissan Frontier that we just acquired, and I want to share with you all the accessories that the previous owner had done to this and why this overland camping expedition vehicle could be the perfect choice for you. Let's check it out. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, click the link in the video description to get a conversation started with any one of our team members. Here at Pkwy Nissan of Stony Creek, we deal with all makes and models. Let's get it going. So everybody, here we have it, the gorgeous Nissan Frontier. What do I love about this vehicle? Well, a few things. This vehicle is truly unique with some of the accessories and what has made this vehicle a true standout from any other pickup truck or Nissan Frontier on the market. First and foremost, I want to talk about the Nissan Frontier and its current landscape versus a lot of the other competitors, the Toyota Tacoma, the Ford Ranger, and the GMC Canyon or Chevy Colorado. What I personally love, having driven all of the other competitors around, is that the Nissan Frontier still to this day has stayed true to its roots in being a naturally aspirated V6 3.8 engine versus the competitors that have gone to a 4-cylinder turbo that we see in the Tacomas and the GM or Ford offerings. What do you guys think in the comments below? I'd love to hear, do you guys prefer a 6-cylinder engine in a vehicle of this size, or would you opt for the new, more modern 4-cylinder turbos? Let's take a look at the front here of the Nissan Frontier. So we've had the Frontier now for a few years. This one here is approximately 2 years old. Still, it looks very modern with what Nissan has done. I love the lava red accents that they've done with the new Nissan logo. The grille is very off-roadish, in your face. It has a gorgeous setup with LED bar lights in the rectangular housing that we have. Down below we have the fog lights, which are also LED. We have our red tow hooks down below that come on Pro 4X. We've got our skid plates underneath the vehicle, and it has a very distinctive masculine, muscular front end to it. On this particular model of the Frontier, the previous client had done a Nismo decal on the front, off-road decal, Nismo off-road lights that Rigid Industries designed. They also designed the off-road lights that come on, some of you may know, the Tacoma and Tundra TRD Pros. So they've also done a little bit of work here with Nissan. This particular truck here is also outfitted with the Nismo rack up top. We don't have anything on display at the moment, but we have seen the Utilitrack system up top where luggage, belongings, you could get surfboard belongings up there, you name it, chairs, whatever it is that you want, that your heart desires. But for the purpose of our video right now, we don't have anything up there for display, but you could mount multiple things up top if you wish. Moving along the side here, we've got the Dynapro tires here on the vehicle with Nissan's Nismo wheels that come optional on the Nissan Frontier. I love the finish here. It's got a nice blacked out chrome look and a bit of a carbon fiber accent inside the vehicle, inside that wheel cap with the Nismo decal as well. I think it's a nice piece, pointing that out. I love how Nissan on a lot of our vehicles have this black cladding. Just keeps that paint protected, especially for a vehicle like this. If it were to hit rocks, tree branches, or any kind of debris, you wouldn't want this getting damaged. Coming along the side, this is optional, these side steps. The client that owned this previously opted to have this. I find it helpful for little kids. Even myself, getting in and out makes it a little bit easier for transitioning from inside the car and outwards. I love what Nissan has on this particular model that comes with the Pro 4X. It has the around view camera system. If we go back to the front here, we'll see you've got a nose camera underneath that Nissan logo. And then around the sides, you've got them underneath the driver and passenger mirrors. It helps, especially for a vehicle like this, let alone, going to Costco on a Sunday morning. This here, if you're doing any kind of serious off-roading or rock climbing, this comes in key, knowing exactly what's below you on either side of the vehicle. Nissan, we have our intelligent key. The vehicle's been tinted. I love the way it looks here. White vehicle with the nice dark wheels and that tinted window finish along with that gorgeous Nismo rack up top. I think it really looks the part here. I think that's the biggest thing with trucks, right? I get it. Every truck guy wants to customize that truck. Sometimes they put a lift on it. Sometimes they'll level out that front end or nose of the vehicle. In this particular case here, I think it's part and parcel, and they've done a splendid, fantastic job in making sure this thing looked like what it's supposed to be doing. So good job with that. As we go through, we've got this gorgeous tent. To be honest with you guys, I never thought in a million years I would say this, but the tent is more comfortable than if I were sleeping on a tent, even with an air mattress on the ground. And I think that is because, again, it's also a Nismo tent meant for this Frontier, that it has a nice, beautiful foam rolled out mattress inside, makes it quite comfortable for sleeping at night. And for some fun, I had my two boys that are 8 and 10 years old sleep in this with me last week, and they quite enjoyed it, and I had a great sleep myself. So I would say thumbs up to the engineers that built this. And my biggest concern, quite honestly, was how the floor of this was going to support the added weight of myself and the two boys that are quite large as well. And it did a marvelous job. Kudos, thumbs up to the engineers that designed this for the guy that's going to put this into his active lifestyle. Moving along the back here, again, with these tents, no one likes to set up tents because you get all the poles and the posts, and sometimes you need that extra body to do it. This here, I did it within the matter of maybe 2 minutes. Popped it up and it compacts very easily, and then we have a zipper that just goes around the outside of the tent to secure it, to make sure when you're driving down the highway you won't have an issue. But you can pop this up within a matter of minutes. On the back here, we've got our bar that supports that added weight, obviously, with the tent. In the back of the vehicle, I love what Nissan has done on these Frontiers with this stamped Frontier right on the very back of the vehicle. That beautiful red lava accenting as well, which will, when we get into the vehicle, you'll also notice that it comes with that too, with all of the stitching. We've got our rear view camera as well to help with parking. We've got our rear sonar system as well. And then we have our hitch and pin receiver as well built into the back here. And the beautiful thing with Frontier is the towing capability of this is up to 6,000 pounds. More than suitable for a small trailer, more than suitable for a boat, or if you're into the sea doing or jet skiing game, this will more than with ease see those tasks out as it should. One common thing that we have seen, and the engineers and design team at Nissan have changed for 2025, is there's an optional 6-foot bed. The way this truck is outfitted right now, it has the 5-foot bed, and for the past 3 years, the Nissan Frontier Pro 4X specifically has only had the option for a 5-foot bed on the back. For 2025, they have listened to those that have asked to just get that extra foot in space. So there is the optional 6-foot bed on 2025 models and up. Would you buy a 5-foot or would you buy a 6? Love to know your thoughts and comments down below. Coming around over to the other side here, the client did opt to have a bit of a growl, if you will, to this vehicle. And we noticed it when we just fired it up a few minutes ago. It does have a Nismo exhaust. It is a catback exhaust. It's quiet right now because it's not under any load or any stress. But once we get some weight and some resistance there, this thing comes to life. So getting in this Frontier, I have to say, I'm thoroughly impressed. Now, I might catch flack for this. For many of you that know me, I've worked for Nissan dealerships here in Canada for the past 19, almost 20 years now. So we're calling it 2 decades. I am a massive Nissan guy and love the brand wholeheartedly and have since day one. With that being said, many of you know that I also am a big fan of the Toyota products, and I love the Tacoma and TRD Pro specifically in those specific packages. The one thing though, getting into a Frontier that I love versus the newer model Tacoma is the seating position. The difference between the Tacoma and Frontier is the floor to roof on a Toyota Tacoma is quite short. Okay, so for those that have or have experience being in a mid-sized truck like this know exactly what I'm talking about. Quite often we would have a used Tacoma on our lot and someone not even know that, but then get inside and feel like, what is different here? The seat doesn't feel comfortable. It feels more like a car because the floor, your legs would be almost outwards, where here, sitting in the Frontier, it feels more like what I would describe as, or many would describe as, a normal truck. So getting in this immediately is much more comfortable and inviting. They've done a spectacular job. And with the accessories that were added to this vehicle, it just gives it a completely different feel. Let's take a look at some of the things here that Nissan has done to the new Frontier and why I think arguably this is the best vehicle in its segment. Looking alongside the door panel here, we have our simple mirror adjustments. We have our windows and locks. We have this beautiful red lava accents that you'll also see through the middle console here. The stitching, it's almost like a baseball glove stitching on the dash or on the seats, where it also says Pro 4X built right into it. It just has a very sporty yet elegant look in Pro 4X that just makes it inviting to want to be in here. As we go through, beautiful, clear, crisp display. This is one thing and a strong selling point to the Nissan Frontier, where a lot of the other trucks are hazy or the letters are jagged. They're not crisp as what they are here in this particular truck. Going through it, it's very simple. It's nothing too complex or crazy. It just gives you all the information you need to know. The kilometers, your range, your outside temperature, and of course, what mode you're in, whether you're in two-wheel drive, 4 high or 4 low. Everything you need to know is directly in front of you. The steering wheel itself here is not too big, it's not too small, and it has the option, of course, for tilting. It doesn't offer any telescoping functions. That's one thing I would have loved to seen on the Nissan Frontier when they redesigned it. I wonder if they will add this, no different than when they added the 6-foot bed option to the later Frontiers that will continue to come out down the road. If they will offer that telescoping wheel or not, time will tell. As we go through it though, automatic headlights, we have those beautiful LED lights also outside. And down at the bottom here, we have our customized outside off-road lights that has been added as that accessory that we can turn off down at the very bottom. Now, there are light covers on them right now, so many of you may have not seen in our video, but I have first-handedly seen these operate at night down dark roads where nobody else was around, and it lights it up like the sun. At the bottom here, we have our hill descent control. We have our cargo lamp for our belongings in the back, and then we have our rear diff lock to help lock out if we're doing any of that off-roading and we're stuck. We have a gorgeous digital screen here that connects to an 8-speaker Fender audio system that is designed for what Nissan engineers would see a Frontier or a truck buyer and what their profile would be. The speakers are really good for someone that's listening to country or to like, your rock and roll music, but I have tried also listening to a little bit of that hip hop or EDM music. They don't sound as good. Nissan historically has been with Bose for a number of years. We wondered why Bose wasn't part of this and why there's a contract with Fender Audio. Previously it was Rockford Fosgate, but they seem to do a great job for the music that they believe their buyer profile, of course, would be on this truck. As we go through here, we do have an auto on-off mode for sitting at those red lights. We've got our 4-ways, very easy, very traditional style for the dual zone temperature control. We do have heated seats. There are no cooled seats in this. I don't know why. I know this is something we see on maybe a larger SUV, a larger pickup truck as an option when we get into a spec'd out higher package. But I can't understand why we don't see that yet in this segment. Again, this could be something that we see down the road, but to be determined. We have our USB-C and USB plugins down below. And of course, our wireless charging. Wireless charging is obviously important for myself. I always forget the cables or chargers, so I need that extra device to charge my phone so that when I get to my next destination, I'm all set. Now, a great thing they've done here is the charger itself is on a decline, making sure that My phone's not going to be sliding backwards or forwards or side to side. It stays in one spot, so when I get to my destination, I'm all set. We have this beautiful single pane moonroof just above with sunshade, of course. And I love how Nissan has put in the black headliner. Previously was gray, but black headliner to now all Frontier Pro 4X. It just gives it a much more sporty feel inside. Some would argue on a hot day like today, it might be a little warm, but with that AC blowing or those windows down, we're gonna be fine on that journey we go on together. Let's hop in the back here and check out the rear seats. Okay, so I'm now sitting in the rear of this Nissan Frontier, and honestly, I can't say I'm blown away with the amount of space, but to be honest here, I didn't expect it to be like that. Arguably, I'm comfortable enough for, a few hour journey or drive. I can't say very often that if I was driving the vehicle that I would have adults in the rear, as likely it would be children, and they would be fine sitting across the rear of the vehicle, but it's quite comfortable, right? It does the job, it checks off the boxes accordingly for the person likely sitting in the back. I'm 6'1" myself. I love the fact that it has a handle for getting in and out. I love the fact that the glass in the back windows goes all the way down. I'm the guy that likes to have his arm on the actual windowsill here and actually have it out, because I know on some of our vehicles the glass sits a little bit higher up, and it's a bit of an annoyance when you can't actually get your arm out properly because you've got that glass digging into the bottom of your arm. Again, I love the fact, I'm pointing out here with this headliner, that it's all blacked out. It gives it that sporty look. We've got our handles for getting in and out. We've got our plug-in in the back, our USB and USB-C, our folding center armrest for the rear mat pockets for the backs of the seats. It's a great quality leather. It's nice and soft. It's definitely durable in the sense that if I spilled something on this, I feel confident that I'd have no problem wiping it up and making sure those stains didn't linger and stay in the material. So quite confident with that. The one question I want to ask Nissan, why still to this day do we have a manual rear window? Many manufacturers in this segment have a powered glass for the rear. I know with the Toyota Tacoma, that's one of them. I can't speak on the GMs because I don't know if they do or they don't. I believe it's an optional package, but this is something that I think is an absolute must. When you have passengers in the rear, it's nice that the driver can just have that functionality to be able to do this and lock it in or out from the controls in the very front of the vehicle. This is something I would love to see on the next Nissan Frontier. And again, this is coming from a guy that's worked for Nissan for many, many, many years. And I think that's something that would sell a lot of people, because I know it would myself. Let's hop out now and you'll get my final thoughts on this Nissan Frontier. So guys, there you have it. That's our Nissan Frontier video, and that's a wrap. Let us know in the comments below, would you buy a Nissan Frontier? Would you lean this way because of the 6-cylinder, or would you opt for the variants of Ford Ranger, Chevy Colorado, GMC, or the Toyota Tacoma? We'd love to hear what you guys think. Personally here, we would love to see Nissan stick with this 6-cylinder because we do attract quite a few people that don't want to opt for that 4. We'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And please guys, it means the world to us. If you can hit that like button, it would help us immensely with our channel. And if you like this content, we're posting new content every week on Saturday mornings. Just please hit that bell at the very bottom of the link below to subscribe to our channel, and you'll get notified every single time a new video drops. Thanks again, guys. My name's Brendan at Pkwy Nissan, and we'll see you on the next one. Come and get it.